So I don't know what happened there. I have to restart the video. So I divided 210,000 by 100, which gives me 2,100 meters, and then you should know that there's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. So you've got to divide this by 1,000, and that would give me 2.1 kilometers as my final answer. Okay, for part C, the map below shows the placement of 4 wind turbines. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. With a road connecting 2 of the turbines here. A new wind turbine, EFAIL, is to be built. It's to be built on the road connecting Bryn turbine and Cum turbine. So it's going to be on this road, and it's going to be on the perpendicular from Aber turbine to the road. So here's Aber turbine. So we need to draw a perpendicular line coming down here, but we've got to do it using a pair of compasses. So, first thing you need to do is to open your compass up, put your point on Aber turbine, and then we need to open your compass up to make an arc which crosses the road there. What we actually need to do then is bisect that point and that point there. So this bit of line here, if we create the perpendicular bisector of these 2 points here, that should go exactly through that point at 90 degrees to the road. So to draw the perpendicular bisector, we've got to open my compass just over halfway, and we draw an arc like that. We do the same thing on the other side. And then we join the 2 points where they cross, there and there, and it should be at 90 degrees to the road and go through Aber turbine. And you can see that that is the case. So the turbine has got to be at this point here, because it's got to be on the road and on the perpendicular from Aber turbine. So it's got to be this point here. That is where the EFAIL turbine is going to go. Right, second part. It's asking you how far. So how far is it from Dour turbine? So we've got to measure the distance from there to there. So with my ruler, I measure that distance. That looks about it's about 7.2 millimeters. So the distance from there to there is about 7.2 centimeters. Sorry. I can see the scale here says that 2 centimeters represents 1 kilometer in real life. So basically all I need to do is divide that by 2 to give me the real distance. So 7.2 divided by 2 is going to be 3.6. So my answer is going to be 3.6 kilometers. Okay, question 11. Given Gwen records the time she spends writing each of 240 text messages, she finds the following. The greatest time is 1 minute 5 seconds, and then you've got all different information here. Probably, as all this is in seconds, this is in minutes and seconds, it's probably best to convert this one into seconds. You've got them all in seconds. So 1 minute is 60 seconds plus 5. That's going to be 65 seconds. Okay, if you want to draw a box plot then, you need to do your scale first. So your range of times is 60 seconds. Your biggest time is 65. So I would start with 0 here. And then this would be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And we need to label that as time. And that's in seconds. And then we just need to draw our box and whisker diagram. So to do that, the bottom whisker is the lowest value, so we haven't been given that yet. So perhaps what I'll do is I'll draw the greatest value first, which is 65 seconds. So that's going to be here. Sorry, 65 is here. Now, if the range is 60, that means the biggest take away the smallest is 60. So, if this is 65, take away 60 gives me my bottom value to be 5. So there's my biggest value, there's my smallest value. The median is the middle value. I'll do that in a minute. Let's figure out what the box is. So the bottom edge of the box is the lower quartile. So we'll find where 23 is, which is here. So that's the bottom of the box. The length of the box is the interquartile range, so that needs to be 32. So 23 plus 32 makes 55. So the top edge of the box needs to be here. So I'll just finish that box there. And these are our whiskers. And then the median is 45 seconds, which is going to be here inside the box there. So that's what my box and whisker diagram should look like. Part B, how many of these text messages took Gwyn more than 23 seconds? So you find where 23 is, which is there, and it's basically everything which is above there. Well, this is your bottom 25%, this is your middle 50%, and then this is your top 25%. So there's two ways of doing it. You can either find 25% and take it away from 240, or find 75% of 240. You should know that 75% is 3/4, so you could divide by 4 and times by 3. 240 divided by 4 is 60, times that by 3 would be 180. So 75% would be 180 texts. Okay. Right. Last question. There's a queue of 96 people waiting to buy concert tickets. Liam has 8 vouchers to hand out, offering 20% off ticket prices. He has decided to use a systematic sampling method to select who receives these 8 vouchers. Liam has randomly selected the 6th person in the queue to receive the first voucher. Use the table below to give the positions in the queue of the 8 people who would receive vouchers. So, if you did 96 divided by 8, that gives me an answer of 12. So really, after you've picked the first one randomly, then you should be picking every 12th person. So you just need to keep adding 12 to the first randomly picked position. So 6 plus 12 would be 18, so you're going to choose the 18th. 18th plus 12 would be 30, then 42nd, then 54th, then 66th, then 66 plus 12 is 78, so 78th, and then 78 plus 12 would be 90th. So if they're all stood in the queue, you would pick the 6th, 18th, 30th, 42nd, 54th, 66th, 78th, and 90th person. Okay, the last one. Gerald used his 20% off vouchers to buy tickets. He paid £120 for the tickets using the voucher. How much would these tickets have cost Gerald without a voucher? So if he is 20% off them, that means that this is 80%. So if I just drew a bar model, and we've got 80%, so I'm going to split it up into eight parts. So this is 80%. And we know that that comes to £120. So each of these are 10%. So how many times does 8 go into 120? So we need to do 120 divided by 8. So 8 goes into 1, 0 remainder 1. 8 goes into 12, once, remainder 4, 8 goes into 40 5 times. So each of these are 15. So that's 80%. We need 100% because that's how much it would have been before we've taken it off. So we need 10 lots of 15s, which is going to be 150.